Aga Tompkins. Welcome to my channel. Today I am doing an episode on beauty school. I did my nails, so you will see how to do these nails while I discuss a little bit about beauty school. If it's something that you've been thinking about doing or whatever, tune in. Hey everyone, so today I am doing a video that's a little different again. I've done one of these before and I promised you guys I would be doing them more, but apparently I didn't. The first thing you're gonna do is file down the tops of your nails so that you have a good textured surface for the nails to stick to. So I'll just kind of tell you guys what I'm doing here and there about my nails, but mostly it'll be story time. So I did this before and I said I would go through some of my life stories when I did my nails, but what really happened was I needed my nails done and I had no time to film, and I was filming other things, and then I realized that's not a thing. So even though I really wanted to keep doing that, it was just life, you know. It is what it is. I am back now. Here we are. I mean, I guess if I do only a couple of these a year, I think that's still kind of fun. Hopefully you guys aren't gonna be mad at me that I don't do them every single time I do my nails. I just don't have the time. Today's story time is about beauty school. I wanted to do a focus on that. I think it's something important. I think a lot of people have questions about beauty school and how it works. People that haven't gone to school, people that have wanted to go to school, and then if you've been to beauty school, then it's just relatable. So it still is something that can entertain some of the people that have been through it. I'm just pushing my cuticles back right now and cleaning off my nail bed of any debris or any kind of imperfections so that the nails will stick to my nail. So obviously beauty school is important, and I hope everybody can understand that part of it. People wish they could just do hair without going to school. It's just not the way it works, and there's a reason for that, and the reason is sanitation. All kinds of knowledge of the structure of the bones, the body. We learn anatomy, we learn chemistry. There's a lot more to beauty school than just like fun time, hair time, makeup time. It's not just the art, and I know a lot of people go for this field because they're creative, they're artists, and they want to express themselves and make a living doing things that are in that field. So next I'm gonna pick the nails. I'm gonna fit over each nail. This nail system's pretty cool because you just kind of cover the whole thing, and that is nice. So I already pretty much know which ones go over my nails. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Okay, once you pick out all your nails and you have them lined up, it's time to drill them. So I have a little nail drill here. I got it on Amazon. It was not expensive and it works great for what I'm doing. I drill the nails just where they're going to be attached to my real nail, just to give it a little texture. Beauty school is like kindergarten of hair and nails and skin. You have to learn your ABCs before you learn how to read. And I honestly feel like once I was in school, I didn't understand why so many people aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. And it blew my mind because I was like, you're an adult. Nobody made you come here. You know what I mean? Like, it was your choice. This is something you wanted to do. And I think a lot of people feel like they don't learn enough in beauty school. And I think they don't understand that it's not consistent always. And it's not, you know, you're not going to learn everything you want to learn. That it takes continued education after you're done with school to build yourself in the way you want to be as a cosmetologist. If you want to learn extensions, then you have to take extension classes. If you want to learn more about makeup, you may have to go to makeup school on top of beauty school. If you want to specialize in nails, you may have to take extra classes. So don't go into beauty school thinking you're gonna go to a school and you're gonna learn everything you need to know. Even an attorney or whoever, I mean, they get the basic knowledge when they go to school, and then they have to train and work with people and learn after they get their bar. And like anything in life, you learn most things from experience, and once you actually are in the real world, that's where you really start learning hands-on. That's another thing I want to get into with beauty school. I think a lot of people are in school and they're like hiding behind their station, hoping that they're not picked for whatever client that has 5 tons of hair down to their butt and they want highlights. And that's like the perfect opportunity to learn, even make mistakes, because honestly, people that get their hair done at a beauty school, they have to know that they're taking a chance. So if you're in school and you're not taking every client and you're not doing everybody's hair that you can be, or nails, like I know when it was like pedicure time, people were legit like flying to not be seen, hoping that they don't have to take a pedicure. Okay, so now once I got all of my nails filed, the next step is I'm gonna paint the underside of these with red. I'm doing black stiletto nails with red underneath. There's really no method to the madness. You just wanna do a light coat, and I'm gonna start popping them into my UV light. So with my job on tour, I work for an artist and I am the glam team. Just me, alone. I do the entire thing. You know, when we're on tour, I do cut, color, styling, hair, not clothes, makeup, I do nails sometimes. And even though nails wasn't my favorite part of beauty school, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm glad I know how to do them. And for instance, obviously I'm doing this video now, even though I don't do nails for clients, I do my own nails. I still use that knowledge I gained from school, and I continued learning about all of the things that I learned about in more in depth, like skin care and makeup. I didn't just stop at, okay, I know how to cut and color hair, that's it, like that's all I'm doing. I kept going, and that gave me more opportunities. I'm not against like people that specialize in stuff, and I think it's really great that, you know, if you're good at something and you love doing something, you continue to do that. But I also believe that it's not a bad idea to develop some knowledge in the other departments in the beauty industry and just be knowledgeable. It's all available to learn. It's all out there. So right now I'm curing these nails. It's just a waiting game. When I started beauty school, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I already did hair and makeup and stuff like that, and I honestly thought I was like, psh, I knew it all. And even though I knew it was important for me to go to beauty school, at the same time, there was like a part of me that was a little cocky and like, felt like I could honestly go without going to beauty school. That was a lie. Once I went to beauty school, I realized there's so much I needed to learn. Okay, they're cured now. I'm gonna do the top coat over the bottoms of these and then cure them again. So yeah, so then once I finally went to beauty school, I realized, girl, there's so much I needed to learn. There was so much. I mean, I took it very seriously. I didn't understand the people that weren't taking it seriously around me. It made no sense to me, but at the same time, I guess everybody's different. And to some people, school is school, and they think, you know, I'm gonna go to beauty school because I hate school. Well, it's still school, and if that's what you're trying to do, then you're in the wrong place, and you're also in the wrong profession, because realistically, with cosmetology, with aesthetics, with makeup, with all that stuff, you have to continually keep learning. And if you're closed off to learning, then you don't want to do this either. There's definitely other jobs that take less knowledge and education, and this is not one of them. I'm not gonna lie though, you know, there were even moments where I had a hard time and wanted to give up or whatever. I went to 2 different beauty schools actually. I started at one And I was lucky enough that I even had the opportunity to have this situation come into my life, because I couldn't afford beauty school like proper the way I thought it was supposed to be. And I honestly thought, you know, I have to go to like Paul Mitchell, and I thought it's just, that's the only way to go. I just thought I could never do it, and I always dreamt about it. And then this woman came into my life that just opened a beauty school, and because she just opened it, it was like a cash beauty school. It was like $3,000, and you know, I was like, sign me up. I always wanted to do it, and I kept pushing it off, and I kept thinking I'm too old, which is like funny looking back now. At that time I was like, I'm too old to go to beauty school. No, I was not. I did it, and I'm so glad. So that's another thing. If you're like getting older and you're continuously telling yourself, I'm too old, you're never too old. There isn't a number, an age where you can't follow these dreams. I definitely had friends in beauty school that were like grown ass people. Yeah, so don't think that just because you're a certain age you can't do it. I finally signed up for beauty school, and it's going well. I'm learning a lot of stuff that I didn't already know, and it was awesome. I met one of my best friends there, and we were going to the school, and it got crazy. I'm sure you guys know about drama. With beauty school comes drama. I kind of feel like I don't know a person that didn't experience some sort of drama during their beauty school journey. I think it's just like putting a bunch of eccentric people in one place. I'm not sure how to word it better, or like what it is, but that might be it. I don't know. Now I'm gonna use the dehydrator. I need to put that over each nail. And so there was some drama. The owner of the school was genuinely crazy. Like, girl. I mean, I've met a couple crazy people in my life, and she's one of them. And it was something. Me and my best friend lived like a crazy, I don't even know what was happening. But long story short, most of our way through this journey in beauty school, me and my friend were doing really well, and this owner just didn't like us. Me and my best friend stayed in that school for most of our time in beauty school, and then later we transferred to another school that was awesome, and we had a really great like final 3 months of our school. It took me a little, I believe it was a little over a year exactly to finish school. And I know it's different for everybody. I'm from Chicago, so I did my school here. We needed 1,500 hours for our education to get our license, but I know different states are different, so check what your state requires. But we did it. Me and my best friend both passed, and we got 94s on our tests, and we like killed it. Super proud of us. I think the whole time we were in school, we were just busting our butts and trying to do the best we can do and learn the most that we can. And I suggest that for everybody. Take everything in. I know that it can be stressful, and I know that there's people that'll cause drama and, I don't know, cause problems, but this is for you. You're an adult. One day you leave there. It doesn't last that long. The longest I think you could be in beauty school is like 2 years anyway. So it's like 2 years of your life part-time, or a full 1 year. Just 1 year of your life, you suck it up and you go and you do this. It's totally worth it. I think, you know, you get to do something in your life that you can be proud of, you can get a good job, and at the very least, you can get cheaper products at the beauty supply store. So there's that too. So if you ever started beauty school and didn't finish, just go finish, and at least for the rest of your life you can get a discount, which is not a bad thing. Now I'm gonna be painting the extended gel over my nails and curing them. But so I finished beauty school, and looking back, it's like most of everything I learned was honestly after school. I got the basic gist of everything there, sure, but just like anything in life, like I had to go out there and practice. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, like I took on every client, I took on every situation. I was definitely super hands-on. I was the annoying nerd person that was like literally trying to do everything and do the best I can. And I feel like that helped me. So once I was out of school, I was able to get a head start on the reality, real clients. And if you make a mistake, it's on you, it's not on the school. And you start really getting better and better with practice. I honestly feel like even during COVID, I'm feeling that practicing doing makeup and doing all this YouTube stuff, it's me not letting my art kind of sit still. I'm honestly using this time to practice and keep busy so that I don't forget how to do makeup. Just kidding, I probably wouldn't forget, but I do believe practice makes perfect. And even in this time, I've tried a couple different techniques that I didn't do before, or just spending every day trying to keep busy and keep doing makeup is good for my brain, honestly, for my mental health, for everything. I didn't know that this was gonna last a year. If I had known then, I still would have suggested to myself to do what I did this year. Looking back, I'm proud that I kept practicing. And with that being said, like at school, it's all about practicing. It's just legit practice. You know, people get mad at school like, oh, the school gets paid and blah, blah, blah. Like they get paid and I have to sit there and do clients' hair and I pay for school. You can't bring people into your life and mess up their hair, but at school, you can. No, but realistically, technically, I guess, yeah, you can mess up at school, which is kind of the good thing, you know? Now I'm gonna be doing just this hand. I'm gonna work on the one hand. I'm gonna be painting on the Extend Gel on the inside upper part of this nail. And this is what's gonna glue this nail to my nail. You want a good amount, but not too much because you don't want it to like all come out. So it's like there's a happy medium. It's just enough to stick it, but not enough to make it all squish out. Okay, so I always start my lamp, turn it on, and then I push the nail down to where it's going, and I put it under the lamp while holding it down. You can't really see that part because there's no way to show you because it's inside of the lamp. But I'm essentially just curing it over on my nail. And I do 60 seconds. For each part that I did 60 seconds. So there's one. Only 9 more to go. So if you're thinking about signing up for beauty school, if you think this is your passion, I honestly do think it's worth it. I just think before you go, you should know that it isn't going to be a walk in the park and you're not going to learn everything that you think you're going to learn. You're gonna learn all the boring things that every one of us had to learn, all the hairstyles that every one of us had to learn that we didn't want to learn because we thought we're never gonna do it. Perms, I learned them, never did them after beauty school. I still know how to do them, and you never know, that trend may come back and I'm like gonna be glad, like, ooh, I'm glad I learned how to do this. It's the technique. That technique will teach you how to do other things that also are relatable. So it's like the basics. It's like, again, it's like the ABCs, and it's like the rite of passage. If you learn how to do finger waves, if you learn how to do perms and the graduated bob and like all the haircuts, and you learn how to do basic, all of it. Holding a comb, holding your shears. Before I went to beauty school, I held my shears wrong. If you think that people don't know that you didn't go to beauty school, we all know, because there's like a special way to hold the shears. And if you didn't go to beauty school, the odds are you're probably holding your shears wrong. And there's like different techniques that we all learn that you learn in beauty school. The other thing is it feels like it's forever, but if you're not a mom, then this does not relate to you. But if you're a mom, let me give you an example. It's sort of like when you're pregnant. During the pregnancy, it feels like forever. You feel like you're literally pregnant for 99 years. But after you look back, you're like, God, that was like so quick. Like it was like came and went. That's how beauty school is. It's like a pregnancy. It's not that fun, and some people enjoy it. I personally liked mine, both beauty school and pregnancies, but it's the final result that really matters, you know? Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you guys? Great. Okay, so now that we got that down, you understand. I think you should follow your dreams. It's fun. I love my job. You also need to know ahead of time though that you're gonna be dealing with people. That is part of the job. Part of the biggest part of the job, honestly, is you have to like people. If you don't like people, then this is not the job for you. I spend my entire days talking to people. I hear people's love stories, breakup stories, horror stories, awful, whatever, exes, things with their families, their children, I don't know, you know, you just hear it all. And if you can't handle that mentally, then it's not the job for you as well. I think you have to be mentally strong and be able to deal with people in the same way that like a psychologist does, honestly. You have to be kind and, I mean, don't get me wrong, some people like catty hairstylists, and maybe they go to each other and they like each other's drama. So I guess you could be dramaful too. You just gotta be able to handle being around people a lot. And hands-on. Like, I don't get grossed out by people or things. I'm really like, nothing bothers me. I think it also goes with me being a mom. I'm just like, it doesn't matter. And I think when I was younger, actually, like, if I was at a party and somebody puked, I'd be the person like helping them and probably cleaning it up. I don't know. I never have been grossed out by stuff that much. So also, I think if you are an artist and you're good with your hands, it's naturally going to be an easier career choice for you. But I feel like I know plenty of hairstylists that honestly didn't even love art or anything like that and are really great at what they do. They might have been better at like the geometry part of it and just knowing lines and whatever. So even if they're not artistic, they somehow have their own vision and it works for them. So I'm not saying that you need to know how to draw to be a cosmetologist. A lot of creative people go into this field, but I think some people that aren't really creative also do well in our industry, and they become creative. They find their own way of being creative and finding their own creative spirit in this industry. I think you have really one goal in starting beauty school, and that is it's just straight to the finish line. You're just there to get that license, get that education, take in whatever you can, and once you're done with all your hours, then you take that test. And I hope that during your time in school you paid attention and learn all the things, like all the names of the different nail parts and like all that stuff, and you take that test and you pass. Once you pass, that's it. You are officially licensed. You can make that money. There's different ways of starting once you're done with beauty school. There's so many options. I believe like right after beauty school, you should take a job at a place that probably isn't your dream job, to be honest. Unless they have a great assistant program, I think it's really smart to go work at a place like Great Clips or a hair cuttery or something of that nature. A lot of the stylists that worked for me did that, and those were the stylists that honestly were the fastest and had a lot of good cutting skills for men's hair, like barbering type stuff, and just they learned a lot in those salons. So I know sometimes people like look down on that, which I don't understand why. A job is a job and doing hair is doing hair. And if you're happy and you go to work and you come home and you like quick haircuts, then I don't see why there should be anything wrong with that. And some people can't afford to pay, you know, more money for a haircut. So it's kind of great that these places exist for people that don't have the means to get this $300 hair service. It's just not for everybody, and there should be options for all people. So I think honestly, it's a great starting point for any hairstylist. And then once you're good and comfortable, that's when you apply for your dream job. That's when you try to go work at the salon that you want to work at. Or obviously in my career, I owned a salon. So it was kind of like I went from helping out my friend Kazi's salon when I lived in LA, and then I opened a salon. So that was my journey. I never actually got a chance to work at a salon, but I learned a lot from the stylists that I hired at my place. So they taught me a ton. So that's another thing, is like you're gonna learn from your peers, and you're gonna learn when you're out there watching. You should be always watching more videos, practicing on your mannequin, practicing on your friends, on your family. All that is super important. And in the long run, if you practice, you will make good money and you will be successful if you work hard. I think a lot of people drop out of beauty school because they do think that it's just all fun and games. Essentially, the creatives go and they think that they'll be able to bypass any like real education. But what people don't understand is you're dealing with the human body. You can hurt somebody, you can really do a lot of damage. So it's really important that you get the education and the knowledge behind our industry. And I'm really proud of being a part of this industry. Making people feel beautiful and being part of this beauty world, it makes me happy. It's one of those things where when I see somebody come in feeling down and then like going through something in life or whatever, and then they leave, you see them just happy. Once you do their hair, they feel better on the inside too, and they get to talk about their problems and they get to hang out with you, and in some way you're like this counselor person to them, and it's like a steady thing that happens for this client every couple weeks or every couple months, and you're honestly helping people. It is a great job, and I think even in the hardest times, people still want to get their hair done or their makeup done because they want to feel beautiful on the outside when they're feeling not so great on the inside. You know what I mean? There is something in the aesthetic part of it that also works on the interior part. If you are thinking about it and you've been thinking about it, just do it. Take school seriously, do well in school, and then start paving your path. Networking is super important as well. I think in our industry, it's a lot of who you know. Honestly, even like building a clientele, if you think about it, it's all growing a network of people in your life. And those are the people that will later get you work. If you do well and you're a good person and you're somebody that people trust and recommend, you're gonna do better as well. You know, always give out your card and like start doing that stuff. If you're already in beauty school, there's always some kind of inspirational speakers or something, and I'm one of them. I go to schools and I do exactly what I'm doing here for you guys on YouTube today. I go to schools and motivate the students to show them that there's so much more in the beauty industry than just working behind the chair. There's like lots of opportunities, and I think a lot of people think when they go to beauty school like, oh, my job is just going to be behind the chair, but there's like film and the music industry, which is where I work, magazine stuff, fashion. It's just never ending. You don't have to just cut hair or just color hair, or you could just cut hair or just color hair. There's so many things that are possibilities, and even though I know in the beginning I told you guys do it all, I think that's more for the fact of opportunities, because in the beginning it's hard, so you gotta like work your way in. Down the line, when you've earned it, you can be picky and you can do whatever you want to do, but in the beginning you don't really get to be picky, and you just gotta do work, you know? So while you're in school, start building a portfolio, start working on a brand, start taking in all the notes, learning all the things, taking all the clients, practicing on your family, curling hair, doing all the things that you can be doing. Live, breathe, sleep the beauty industry, and go to every beauty show, go to every opportunity. There's classes, take them. That's what I did to get to where I was. I did everything that I could ever do. I never said no. I legit never said no. And even though I had a plan, and my plan was more specific, and I wanted to do exactly what I do now. I know a lot of people hit me up all the time asking me, how did I get this job? Like, it's their dream job. And I can tell you guys right now, I got it because I was putting myself out there and networking. I was always working really hard, building a business, building a brand, never giving up on my dreams, always saying yes and doing every gig, every job, keeping in touch with people, and in the end, being available to just drop everything and do what it takes. And I did that. I became a tour hairstylist, makeup artist, but I promise, I put in a lot of my time for not a lot of money before I got to where I am. And I think I invested a lot in myself. And I think if you're not willing and capable and patient, then it's not gonna happen overnight. It is one of those things where you gotta keep fighting for it. I fought and fought and fought until I finally got something. And once I got one break, then a lot of breaks started happening. I think it was one of those things where then the universe started like handing me a lot more. Once I guess I knew I was capable and ready, it like started coming my way. So if you think you're gonna like graduate beauty school and then you're gonna be on tour tomorrow doing hair for Rihanna, it's just not happening. There's no way, even if you're as good as you could be, it's, you know, it's good you got your license, and that's really important because you can't do Rihanna's hair without having a license. Like, you need to get that license, and that is super important. And you shouldn't be doing Rihanna's hair if you don't have a license, but if you keep pushing and get that license and do all the time and do all the work, then in the long run, it's totally possible. I think you just never give up, and it's all based on who you know. So keep meeting people, keep making a good impression on people, and good things will come your way, I promise. Okay, so now they're set. What I'm gonna do is file the tops of them because we're doing black on top, duh. So you wanna make sure that you have nothing on your cuticle. Like, this product cannot be on your cuticle, so you have to file it down so no air bubbles are in between your nail bed and your cuticle. It needs to be separated there. So make sure you file it real smooth at the top. And with that being said, I would say, you know, if there's a salon you want to work at and they do a lot of the things you want to do, like gigs and stuff like that, that'd probably be a good place to start your career. Once you feel confident and comfortable, then you kind of put yourself where you want to be. One of my great friends, she lived in a small town in Illinois that's like 2 hours away from Chicago, and she always wanted to move to Chicago, and she wanted to have opportunities she could have never had out there, you know, just because it's a small town. You sort of almost need to be in a bigger city. A lot of people ask me if the artist I work for is from Chicago, and she's not. The way it worked out for me was I live in a big city, and I was doing hair for bands out of Chicago. So I'm not saying it's impossible because I'm not from where my whole crew lives. I fly to work, essentially. So I'm always like flying to wherever we're going, and none of us work in our city, really. In my case, it's totally different, but how do you get to that place? And I think you need to put yourself into a situation where you're surrounding yourself by people that are trying to get to the same place you're going. So if you're trying to work in the music industry and be a hairstylist, then you gotta figure out how are you gonna get from point A to point B, because obviously there's not a lot of hairstylists, makeup artists in the music industry. You know, it's not like a norm. And I would say I'm like the very last job that anybody needs in my industry. It's like you have to make it so big to be able to have a hairstylist or like a personal hairstylist, makeup artist. Think about that. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be doing really well to have that in your life. So obviously in the music industry, it's not like a small band is going to have like a hairstylist on tour with them because they can't afford that at that time. You know, maybe if they make it big, they can afford, but even bigger bands that are all guys still don't have a hairstylist on tour with them. You know, it's usually the female artists. It's not impossible, so I'm not saying you can't do it, but it is going to take a lot and you're gonna have to put your whole life on the line. Like, I definitely took a lot of risks and it was worth it in the end for me, and I make a great living and I have seen the whole world almost. You know, I've been to about 30 countries. I've been to Japan alone like about 15 times. So it's one of those things where it's like, man, I feel really lucky. I know I'm lucky. I know that that is a little bit of luck too. It's not just all, you know, like talent or something. I promise. Sometimes you just have to put yourself out there. Like, I'm putting myself out there right now by doing these YouTube videos. Honestly, sometimes I'm like, what am I even doing? I've really been enjoying it and I really love it. So I'm hoping that, I hope I can do this forever. And it's kind of cool because I can do this in my life, through my life, even when I'm working and stuff. It doesn't take away from the rest of my life, which is kind of nice. I feel like I have nothing to lose, but I just hope you guys are enjoying it because I guess I don't want to do it for nothing. But if anything, maybe it's just for my grandkids to look back someday and be like, that was her grandmother on YouTube. What the heck was she doing? And I will be like, I'm doing my nails, okay? So the filing part of this is like super important. Make sure that literally nothing is on your cuticle. It will make the nail come up and you'll be real sad because they'll pop off. So you have to file it all the way around perfectly so that there's nothing making air bubbles in between them. Now my nails are ready to do the black part. So I'm gonna paint them black with the black gel. Once you're gonna take the state board, make sure you're practicing at school and paying attention. I suggest going right after you're done with your hours, like immediately, because a lot of that stuff you're going to forget if you don't go take that test. And then it gets worse and worse and worse and you're just like, I'm not doing it. So make sure you literally sign up for those tests right after you're done with your hours. I had the paperwork sent in the day my hours were done. I had the paperwork sent in to the state being like, give this girl a test, schedule a date, because I like could not wait. I have this little glitter and I'm gonna just dip my nail in there and just kind of spread it around. Oh my God, it's so good. So I'm just gonna do that on both of these. I just did 2 for now. I'm gonna do the rest. I just wanted to show you guys what 2 look like. Just dipping right into there and just kind of adding it on. No method to the madness. Just whatever. And then cure it. So take that test right away, get that over with, move on with your life, apply for jobs, and do the things you need to do. I need to turn off this camera. I've just been recording small snips of me doing the nails this way, but I think I'm messing it up. By then, I'm gonna have to just like write words of what I'm doing, because I don't know. It's real hard. Just so you guys know, when I make these videos, it's really hard like to multitask. I'm like, what was I saying? What was I doing? I'm getting better at it, which is also a skill, I guess. So it's not a bad thing for me to learn how to like multitask. Do your nails while talking about beauty school. If you guys have any questions about any of this stuff, please comment below or message me on social media. I'm on Instagram. You can hit me up on there, or just comment and I can respond on there. whatever works for you. I am down to help anybody that has any questions about beauty school or anything like that. I love my industry and I love educating and doing all that stuff. I'm currently working with America's Beauty Show and doing education stuff for them. It's just my passion. I feel so lucky to have this job. It's the best job that I could have ever asked for. And I know there's people out there just like me that this is what they would love to do. This would make them the happiest in the world. And I know that sometimes it feels like you have to pay $30,000, or I don't know what Paul Mitchell and those schools are at now, but just so you know, little old me only paid $3,000 for, a little over $3,000, because I ended up going to another school and had to pay a little more over there. I paid under $4,000 for my education, and to be honest with you guys, I couldn't afford more than that. I could have got a loan or whatever. At that time, my mindset just wasn't there, and I don't even think I honestly had the means to get a loan. So it just worked out for me that way. And I can promise you guys right now, I learned everything that I truly know after school, besides the things that every single beauty school is gonna teach you, which is the basics. And like anybody in life, or like anything in life, you gotta move on after school, or even in college. Like if you go to college for a thing, you do know that you leave there not knowing everything. It takes years of experience, and that is something you get after you finish school. So remember, when you're picking your beauty school, if you can afford Paul Mitchell or one of those schools that are more expensive, by all means do it. It's not a bad thing, you know? It's just, if you're somebody that's sitting there thinking, I can't afford this, this is not something I'll ever be able to afford, do your research. There's definitely some cosmetology schools that are maybe not as low as mine was, and I definitely got super lucky in my life to have that opportunity, but there's definitely beauty schools out there that are less than $30,000. So you'll just have less debt when you're done, and you can put that money towards classes and more things later down the line. So once you're done with your cosmetology stuff, you can like keep educating yourself, keep practicing, because I promise, no matter who you are, if you just graduated beauty school, I don't care who you are, you're not like, oh, people are like, wow, they're amazing because they went to Paul Mitchell. Like, no, everybody's still like, oh, they just graduated beauty school, and you know, everybody's still sketched out like, oh, is this gonna be okay? Because, you know, you gotta mess up and you have a lot to learn still. And so nobody cares. Nobody cares that you went to Paul Mitchell. It's based on the person, and you work with what you get. So if you can only get an education in a school that is not a Paul Mitchell school, it doesn't matter. I messed this one up a little bit. So if you go to Paul Mitchell, please don't be offended. I promise, I know it's a great school, and you know, no offense to anybody like that. It's more just so that people that could never afford a Paul Mitchell can know that they don't have to go there to get an education, and they can certainly go somewhere, get their license, and then still have a successful life and a successful career. But look at these nails. Okay, so now I'm gonna clear coat these suckers. Hope I'm not boring you guys. I'm really excited about this. I last minute saw this glitter in my makeup stuff and was like, I'm gonna try that, and now I'm really pumped. Like, I'm gonna be so cute doing my makeup for you guys with these bomb ass nails. All right, so I'm gonna put the clear coat over it now. Now the waiting game again. I'm kind of glad I do my nails with you guys here, because it's so boring when I do it alone. And this way I get to talk to you guys and do my nails, and it takes longer technically, yes, but worth it. Worth it for hang out with you all. So I hope you guys don't mind that I dragged you here to do nails with me, because I just wanted to hang out. Now I'm going to file it flat again. There's going to be little bumps from all this glittery stuff, so I want to have a smooth surface so I'm not like snagging on things. So after I do the clear coat, I'm gonna go through and just get rid of some of the imperfections. And even if I lose a few of these little glitters, that's totally fine. I'm not sad about it. I just don't want any bumps. And one hand is done. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other hand and I'll be right back. And I'm done. Here's the final product of my nails. They're red on the bottom and sparkly up top and black like my soul. Hopefully this video helped you out if you were wondering about beauty school a little bit, if you should start beauty school or not. And if you're gonna go to beauty school, good luck. I wish you all the best. You're gonna do great. Don't give up, keep powering through it. It is tedious, it is annoying sometimes, but you got this. A lot of things in life don't come easily, and this is also one of them, and I know that as much as it would be nice for it to be easy, it's not. And I know that you'll feel underwhelmed in some ways where you thought you were gonna learn more or you thought you would get more out of it. But if you go in there taking it for what it is, you won't be disappointed. You'll just get it done and get out and then find your path, figure out what you want to do and follow that path, and figure out what you love doing and do that, and figure out what pays the bills and do that. You got this. Also, hope you guys learned how to make these nails. I honestly had to file them like smooth and redo the clear coat like a bunch of times afterwards. I would say like in certain spots a couple extra here and there and fixing them up till they were nice and smooth. So it did take me a little while because the glitter went on kind of thick. So, and I want it to feel smooth. So I had to file them down and redo them and file them down and redo them. But I'm real happy with them. It was worth it. Worth it. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. That helps me out. Let me know if you have any questions, or if there's something that I didn't cover, I could always make another video or just let you know. I didn't go through like all the technical stuff and the stuff you learn, but generally if you do like a walkthrough of a school, they'll kind of walk you through what that's like. And all you gotta do is sign up and start going. And then put in your time and then get out. Look at it as a stepping stone to where you're going. It's not your final destination, so don't take it as that, and don't let that make you lose track of where you're trying to be. You got this. Good luck, and see you next time. Bye.